Hello again and welcome to another edition of Suds and Country. Hi, I'm Herb Sudson.
Hi everybody, I'm Rose and we are here today with Mercury recording artist Mark Wells. Welcome to the show, Mark.
Good to see you guys. How y'all doing?
Okay.
We're doing fine, Mark. Let's talk about permanently. I did some studying, I did some reading, and it says more diverse, more relaxing. The album was more relaxing, more diverse. What do you mean by that?
Well, I think going into this record I was a little nervous, you know, and then by the time we got started recording it, I thought we'd found some good material, and I just tried to relax with it. I mean, the first record I was extremely nervous, the entire, record-making process. Second one I was still a little nervous, and the third one I felt like I had laid some good groundwork, and just tried to go in and have some fun with it.
All right. You had your first two releases from this album permanently are remakes of old pop tunes. Back at One was an R&B of Brian McKnight, and Almost Doesn't Count was a Brandy tune. Why are you doing remakes?
Actually, I didn't do remakes. I only did one remake. The back at Almost Doesn't Count we recorded before she did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
We went in and recorded Almost Doesn't Count before she did, which was over a year ago. And when we started working on the new album, and what had happened was once they give a license to a song, anybody can record it.
Okay.
So we went in and recorded it, and she recorded it, after we did. And as for Back at One was just a great song that I thought, that was a little different for us. I mean, we wanted to go in and record something a little different because, it was just something I felt was a cool song, made a cool statement, and it worked out well for us.
How's it doing on charts?
Went all the way up to #2 and stayed there for like 4 weeks, so it wasn't bad.
Not bad
How do you countryfy these tunes, these pop tunes?
Well, I don't think it's there's no such thing as a pop record or a country record or anything else. It's all the production. It's how you produce it. It's, lyrics are lyrics, and great lyrics are great lyrics, and bad lyrics are bad lyrics. Doesn't matter what, genre of music it comes from.
According to an article in Country Weekly magazine, you were a showstopper from the age of 2, where you were in church. Do you know the story? You were in church, and the minister mentioned Abraham, and you broke out with the song Father Abraham.
I was a little bitty kid. I was laying up under the church bench, from what I remember, or from what I've been told, and he mentioned Abraham, and there was a song that we used to sing in Vacation Bible School called Father Abraham. And
can you sing a little bit of that?
To be honest with you, I don't even remember. I remember part of it, but I mean, it's like Father Abraham had many sons, but it's something like that. But I broke into the song and started singing it, and he just let me finish, and he says, well, at least we know Mark's paying attention, so that was...
You were a showstopper.
So far, most of your songs are ballads, and I read where it says, I've been wearing myself thin on ballads. Why are you sticking to ballads, Mark, so much?
Because they've been going #1.
That's a good reason.
Not to be short with you, but when you can record material and continuously have success on it, I don't think it matters whether it's an up-tempo song or a ballad. I mean, something that that you record and you're proud of, and it works for you well. I think that's the main goal for anybody who's in the music business. And everything we've ever had out, with the exception of one song, has went to the top 5. So I don't feel like we're doing too bad.
Okay. I read where all your songs are ballads, and I looked at all the videos, and they're definitely ballads, except for what, High, Low, and In Between.
And that's the only song. That's the only song we ever released to radio that didn't go to the top 5.
Well, ballads are doing you well.
They're not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
All right.
If it's not broke, don't fix it,
Exactly.
right?
That's what it said in the article, if it ain't broke.
Right.
Exactly.
I understand that the song In My Arms is very special to you. Can you tell everybody why?
Well, I wrote that song with a couple of friends of mine about my daughter, and there was the guys who I wrote it with, Monty Criswell and Michael White. Michael has a daughter, and Monty and his wife had just found out they were expecting, and fittingly enough, they had a daughter. So it was kind of one of those daddy songs for their little girls, and it has a special place in my heart still. I mean, she's my first little girl, my first child. And we have this great little bond, so I love her a lot. She's pretty cool.
Great. What's her name?
Her name is Mally.
Mally. Pretty name. Okay, what can you tell us about the song Almost Doesn't Count?
Well, it's like we were talking about a little earlier. Almost Doesn't Count is a song that we actually recorded a little over a year ago, before Brandy recorded it, and we were going to make it the first release off the album. But then we found Back at One, and I thought Back at One was just, the timing of Back at One was so I thought so good because it was, it was climbing the pop chart so fast. And we'd never remade a song. It was kind of funny. We had never redone a song from anybody else. So, and we've had songs that have been done by other people, like, I Do Cherish You and Don't Laugh at Me, and, songs like that. So it was kind of cool for me to get to be able to take another song that people had heard a different way and kind of do it my way.
How do you pick songs for your albums? I read also that the songs have to speak to you.
Well, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, they have to definitely reflect who I am. They have to reflect, what I'm feeling at the time, and we just try to pick good material from top to bottom. I don't really think there's any certain way to do that. You just have to, have to pick songs that speak to you.
And do you write any songs other than In My Arms that speak to you?
Well, yeah, I've written several. I mean, not that's on the record or anything, but
that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Have any other songs that have been on the record?
No, I like to pick good songs. That's what I usually do.
I have to ask what it was like touring with George Strait. He is my all-time favorite. Did you learn a lot from him?
I had a lot of fun with George. I mean, we actually struck up a little bit of a friendship and would hang out a little after the shows. It was real nice to get to tour with somebody who's had a big, huge, long career like he has, and still seems to be a really nice guy.
Great.
Are any of your songs considered dance tunes, really? Have you recorded any dance tunes yet?
No, just a lot of slower songs. Oh, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking at the record, we've recorded a lot of up-tempo stuff, but stuff that have been hits, no. More slow stuff has been our forte over the past few years.
Because I own a nightclub called the Colorado Cafe. It's a dance club,
Right.
and if
Well,
those
you can slow dance to them.
they played your songs already, slow dancing. But I was just wondering if we can do a tush push to any of your songs, or a 16-step or any of that kind of stuff.
No, probably not.
You could,
Okay.
but it would look a little funny.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us about your tour bus? I understand you were the interior decorator for this, or as you call it, your 45-foot hotel.
Well, it's I just try to, it's my first time ever designing anything like that. I just went in and tried to make it something that was very livable for me, and it worked out well. It's been a lot of fun. We're getting a brand new one now. We got a brand new one being built that we'll be picking up probably in the next 2 weeks. Another one. So it's my interior design skills have come a long way since the last time.
You interior design at the house too?
No, my wife doesn't let me do that. I did get to pick out a couch, however. I get to pick out a new couch the other day. That's about it.
Now, what about those chocolate pie fights we heard about in that bus?
Only one ever happened. It was one and only one. That was the end of that was the end of the chocolate pie fight. For good.
Chocolate pie on white leather couches.
It
Doesn't
cleaned
go-
up well.
Oh, that's
It
good.
cleaned up pretty easy, but still it's kind of a mess.
What was the first song you had out that made you a household name, a recognizable name on the street?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people remember Jacob's Ladder. I don't think that made me a household name. I don't think any song we've ever had has made us, I'm not the Backstreet Boys. I'm not, NSYNC. I think we were constantly working at becoming that. But we've had a lot of big records, in the country music industry. But I think right now we're just more striving day by day to get more popularity.
You had 3 number ones. That's quite an achievement so far.
Yeah, it's not been bad at all. Not been bad.
Don't Laugh at Me is such a meaningful song. Do you think that this song has taught people how to respect others? As in the video, at the end of the video, you see that these people have learned the lesson of respecting one another. Do you think that has helped people?
I think Don't Laugh at Me just speaks for itself. There's really nothing I can say about Don't Laugh at Me that people haven't, experienced for themselves. I recorded that song because it was an honest song, and that was it.
Female vocalist, ACM.
Mm-hmm.
How has that changed your life as compared to having a baby girl?
Absolutely none as compared to having a baby girl.
That's what I thought.
I'm still the same guy, but I'll tell you what, I absolutely love my daughter. She's incredible. She's the light of my life.
Okay, I think it's just about time to wrap it up here.
You want to put another video in before we wrap up?
You want to put one more in? What should we put in?
Which one do you want to put in,
Why
Mark?
don't you throw the new single in? Did we do Almost Doesn't Count?
Almost doesn't count, we put in. We
Okay.
put in Back at One,
Hey,
and
why don't you do?
and Don't Laugh, we put
Why
in.
don't you throw in? Why don't you throw in High Low and Let Them See Me with Long Hair?
There you go.
Okay.
That's you're
Were
right.
you actually flying in one of those planes?
Yeah, I was.
You were flying it
Got to-
yourself.
no, I wasn't flying it.
Oh,
I was
okay.
flying in it, but I
You were
wasn't
flying
flying
in
it.
it.
No,
Okay.
I'm not a pilot.
And at one point, the plane came awfully close to you, or was that just...
Oh, that was real.
No.
That was real.
Okay.
There was one point where one of the outtakes where you see the plane, it comes flying behind me and it comes up over me real quick. There was one point where one of the first takes that we did of it, the smoke actually just engulfed me. You couldn't even see me. It was that close. It was probably, I think they said literally if I had reached up, I could have probably touched the wheels of the
Oh,
plane.
my God.
It's kind of scary.
That's scary.
Yeah, a little too close for me. I like having my head right here, you know.
Before we show that video, you're a WCW man?
I like wrestling. I know a lot of those guys. A lot of those guys live in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so so I know a lot of the wrestlers and that kind of stuff, and so I hang out with them a good bit. And
You're a WWF man?
I watched a little bit. We've got a friend that wrestles for them too, so I know a little bit about both of it. Not a lot about the WWF because, like I said, I know most of the
WCW.
guys from WCW, but we have a couple friends that wrestle for both organizations, so we follow a little bit.
I follow WWF a lot.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's not bad. Like I said, I don't watch it all that much. I don't have time to watch it anymore.
No, you're on the bus a lot.
Yeah.
The bus, according to what she said, the bus has everything a house has.
Has more than a house.
There you
Do you
go.
think we could get a ride in that bus?
Sure, sure.
Mark, I want to thank you for being on Southern Country. Really appreciate it.
You guys for having us. We
Thank you
appreciate
very
it.
much.
Okay. Till next time, this is Herb. Be well. And when Mark Will's in town, be sure you catch his show because it's a good one.